welcome. You're watching This Is Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that answers all your stock-related queries. In case you're wondering what should you be doing with the stocks in your portfolio, is it the time to add some more stocks? Should you just hold on to your position or should you be switching to newer stocks that are looking much better at this point in time by our top experts? Well, ask away all your questions. The WhatsApp number is flashing on your screens. Don't forget to mention your own name, location and your contact details so that we can also give you an opportunity to speak to our top guests and also take a custom-made advice there. In case you're watching us live on our YouTube platform, then log in on the show Daily Calls Live. Use the comment section there and also send in your questions from there and I'll be happy to pick up some of those questions as well with our top guests. Let's quickly look at how the markets are shaping up. It's a flat trade on the Nifty. 24,400 continues to remain so. Remember, markets on the edge because of the ongoing geopolitical tensions, but it's the broader markets that are doing well. IT, banks, those are the ones that are leading from the front. Even consumer durables for that matter are up and about at this point in time. On the Nifty, you have Tata Motors, you have Adani Ports, Titan ahead of earnings, HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, all of them that are doing very well in the opening trading session at this point in time. Let's actually welcome our guest on board. We have Akshay Bhagwat, Senior Vice President of Derivatives Research, JM Financial Services, now joining in on the program. Warm welcome to you, Akshay. Good to have you with us and long time there. Do help us understand what's your fresh view on the market. So much is happening. Markets have to maneuver through both domestic cues, global cues, geopolitical tensions, all of it at this point in time. So far, we are actually showing a lot of resilience despite what's happening closer at the borders. What exactly would you really say about the markets?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. Well, if you look at the price action, really, it's been, I think, the 10th or 12th session where Nifty has been kind of pivoting around the levels of 24,350. So you have a rising VIX, which is suggestive that fear is there in the system. VIX has risen from 15 to 18%. But if you look at the FI action, there has been continuous buying numbers. I think 13, 14 straight sessions of buying, both in cash markets, good numbers coming out in the index future segment. So really, the FIs doesn't look nervous looking at their trades. It's just the domestic sentiments, the retailers, their actions in the mid and small cap space, which is signaling that there is fear among the retailers and not among the FIIs. So at least going strictly by the price action, it is still a positive setup for the Nifty. 24,000 is the broader support zone if you are looking from a May series perspective, and targets of 24,800 and 25,200 still are open on the upside. So I believe this range bound scenario should give away soon in terms of a positive breakout on the upside. And in case that happens, the targets are given should be visited soon in the near term time frame.
Okay, got that, Akshay. So that's the overall view on the markets. What we'll do is we'll take some questions from our viewers that are coming in, Akshay, and we can come back again on your top choices on the stocks and the sectors you're looking at. We have some questions pouring in early. Anuj Singh and also joining in with us is Satya and all of them are sending in their questions. Welcome to all of you. Let's take Satyan's question first. It's on our WhatsApp. He says, I hope everybody's fine. Yes, very well, Satyan. Thanks for asking. Your question is on Supriya Life Sciences. You have been holding on to this position at 675 and you want to know whether it is advisable to hold this stock for the next 12 to 18 months on, or should you switch to a stock like a Shivalik Rasayan or a NoSil at this point in time. Okay, got that. We'll try and understand from first, Akshay, as far as Supriya Life Sciences, the current levels and how do they look. Today the stock is back in momentum, 3.5% higher at 645. Sensible enough to continue to hold this, or do you think it's important to switch this one at this point?
Well, technically, yes, you can hold this because really the longer term price structure is still strong. It is just that the last 6 months have seen the prices confined in a trading range of 600 to 750. That's the broader range the stock has been moving in. But the positive part is 550, 600 zone is a massive support. That is the technical zone you should be looking at. Until the prices are above 550, you have no reason to worry about. So the target projections as of now work till 900, 950 from a long-term perspective. So hold is the call on Supriya Life Science.
Okay, got that. Hold is the call on Supriya Life Sciences. Satyan, I hope this has helped you out in understanding what exactly should your strategy be on this one. Let's take another one. This one is from Anuj Singh. He is asking on Shelly Engineering and Plastics. ये शेयर अभी 1540 के रेट पर 1546 के रेट पर इन्होंने ख़रीदा हुआ है ऑलरेडी, और कुछ 300 शेयर्स हैं इनके पास ऑलरेडी, शेली इंजीनियरिंग एंड प्लास्टिक्स, और लगभग 8% तक का इनको प्रॉफिट भी हो रहा है स्टॉक पर। ये जानना चाहते हैं कि अभी फ़िलहाल इसे होल्ड करके चलें या फिर एग्ज़िट कर लें। 1686 का करंट प्राइस है। आज ही स्टॉक में 5.5% तक का मूव भी आया है। डेज हाई पर ये स्टॉक चल रहा है। इसके अगर हम चार्ट्स को थोड़ा स्ट्रेच करके देखें तो पिछले 6 महीने में ये स्टॉक 50% के हिसाब से बढ़ता हुआ नजर आया, और एक साल में 180% तक की रैली हमने स्टॉक में देखी है। एक दमदार मूव देखने को मिला है फ्रॉम ऑल द वे लोज ऑफ 3 digits ऑफ 600 और बैक इन जून ऑफ 2024, और मे बी इवन इन मे इट वाज अराउंड 600 ऑड लेवल्स। एक साल में अब तक ऑलमोस्ट 180% तक की रैली हमने स्टॉक में देखी है, और ऑन द वे अप ही इन्होंने ख़रीदा है कुछ और ये स्टॉक अगर हम देखें तो अपने पीक पर भी गया था समवेयर अराउंड 1923। उसके बाद एकाएक काफ़ी गिरावट आई थी, और उसके बाद स्टॉक ने वापस से अप्रैल में पुल अप करना शुरू किया है समवेयर अराउंड 1300 के लेवल से। क्या कहना चाहेंगे यहाँ पर आप, अक्षय?
लॉन्गर टर्म प्राइस स्ट्रक्चर काफ़ी मजबूत है। मेरे हिसाब से गए 3 महीने में जो दौर रहा है स्टॉक का, उसमें आपको थोड़ी सी जो है मोमेंटम दिख पा रही है। जो एक स्विंग है काफ़ी, इसमें प्राइस स्विंग 1400 और 1800 के रेंज में। मेरे हिसाब से टेक्निकली अभी भी स्ट्रांग होने के चलते 2000 ये जो टारगेट्स है आपको 6 से 8 महीने के टाइम होराइजन में देखने को मिल सकते हैं, तो होल्ड करने की राय है। 2000 तो एक टेम्परेरी 6-8 महीने का टारगेट है, उसके ऊपर भी चल सकता है स्टॉक। तो कुल मिला के 1400 ये एक बेस सेट हो चुका है, और पॉजिटिव व्यू के साथ होल्ड की राय रहेगी।
चलिए, उम्मीद करते हैं यहाँ पर आपको सही राय मिल गई है और आप इसे फॉलो करेंगे। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास एक सवाल आया है, ये है मनोज भाई कपाड़िया का। ये पूछना चाहते हैं आपसे अक्षय, इनके पास आरती इंडस्ट्रीज़ के कुछ 90 शेयर हैं और 456 के लेवल पर ख़रीदा हुआ है, रखें या सेल करें, ये जानना चाहते हैं। अहमदाबाद गुजरात से हमें लिख रहे हैं मनोज भाई कपाड़िया। स्वागत है आपका मनोज भाई, डेफिनेटली आपके क्वेश्चन को एड्रेस करेंगे। आरती इंडस्ट्रीज़ 456 के भाव पर ख़रीदा हुआ है अक्षय।
जी, तो मेरे हिसाब से आपको 10-12 और पॉइंट का गेन है, और टेक्निकली लॉन्गर टर्म स्ट्रॉन्ग है। मेरे हिसाब से जो एक दौर था स्टॉक में गए 2023-24 से आप देखें तो एक मंदी का दौर था। 900 से लेके 400 ये इसमें करेक्शन देखा है हमने। तो और प्राइस स्ट्रक्चर देख के मुझे लग रहा है कि शायद जो एक बहुत बड़ा करेक्शन का दौर था 1.5-2 साल का, वो हो चुका है, और यहाँ से 380 400 ये एक बेस हो चुका है स्टॉक का, और इसके डाउन जाने के संकेत कम लग पा रहे हैं। होल्ड करने की राय है, समय देना पड़ेगा आपको, कम से कम साल भर तो होल्ड करना पड़ेगा, तभी जाके 750 का फर्स्ट टारगेट पोटेंशियल इसमें आपको दिख सकता है। तो होल्ड करें 750, ये पहला टारगेट पोटेंशियल टारगेट हो सकता है साल भर के होल्डिंग से, और अगर और समय दे ये स्टॉक में तो ऑल टाइम हाई भी छू सकता है।
ओके, गॉट दैट। टाइम आपको देना पड़ेगा, ये आपके लिए सबसे क्रिटिकल है। मनोज भाई, अगर आप इस स्टॉक में बने रह सकते हैं कुछ समय के लिए तो पोटेंशियल है लंबे समय में आपको ऑल टाइम हाई लेवल्स भी ये दिखाता हुआ दिखेगा, तो आप डेफिनेटली इस चीज़ का ध्यान रखें। टाइम दे सकते हैं तो अक्षय जी काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट हैं कि इस स्टॉक में आपको बढ़िया मुनाफा देखने को मिल सकता है। नेक्स्ट नमन लिखते हैं, ये व्हाट्सएप के ज़रिए हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं और यमुना नगर से लिख रहे हैं। नमन लिखते हैं कि there was a lot of buzz around Tata Motors yesterday, so I actually bought Tata Motors and today it's gone past 700. I want to know whether it was my right call or did I enter at the party at the last minute. Well, Naman, interesting question that you have. In fact, Tata Motors has been lagging and consolidating in a very narrow band over the last 5-6 odd months. It came off sharply from the recent highs that it had touched as well. And of late, when you're seeing this momentum on Tata Motors, it's because of 2 or 3 factors. One, when things started to improve on the auto tariff front in the US from the latest statements that we are getting to know. We still don't have any clarity or any statement of what is the tariff that we will get to see on autos, but from the sense that we are getting from the latest statements that are coming in, the tariffs could be much lower, and that's why we've seen Tata Motors has again started the shipments of JLR to the US again, and that's why there was some improvement. Now next, there are two more fresh triggers that have come in the last couple of days. One is the India UK FTA that's likely to help players like Tata Motors, and of course there's also an expectation that tonight US could be signing their first trade deal with the UK as well. So there is an expectation that because of all these deals happening, Tata Motors could likely benefit. 695 is the current level. Let's try and find out whether you've entered at the right point. Akshay, do help us understand those who had entered at the high peak points, 4 digits on, they had been waiting that some kind of triggers should actually pull back Tata Motors from these absolute lackluster moves that we've been witnessing for the last 5-6 months. Finally some momentum happening, but will it sustain enough to let Tata Motors go back to its erstwhile highs? What would you say?
Well, last 4 months of price action certainly has given technical evidence that the stock has a strong support now, which is around the levels of 600. So the support base is cemented. Now it is the time that the stock will stage an up move on the which we call it more of a pullback rally, because we have had a clear sell off right from the levels of 1200. So we are staring at a pullback rally scenario in Tata Motors, and from a risk reward perspective, this is a very good level to take an entry in the stock, because from a pullback perspective the short term targets are working till 725, and eventually my potential target which I look forward to with a time horizon of maybe a couple of months is around 800 825. So yes, as the viewer has put an interesting question, am I late for the party? I think probably you missed out the starters, but the main course is yet to go. So yes, maybe 800 825 will do justice if you buy it at the current rates. 600 is a good support, and I think you can hold or buy the stock from the current levels.
चलिए तो स्टार्टर्स मिस कर दिए, लेकिन मेन कोर्स अभी बाकी है। अगर आप उसके लिए एपेटाइट रख सकते हैं तो आपको बढ़िया मुनाफा देखने को मिल सकता है। 825 तक के लेवल्स जो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं अक्षय जी, क्या बात है, बहुत ही बढ़िया एनालॉजी में आपने समझाया है इन्वेस्टर्स को कि कैसे टाटा मोटर्स को अभी देखें और करंट रैली और आगे की रैली कैसे रह सकती है। आगे के सवाल हैं हमारे पास, बहुत सारे दर्शक अब हमारे साथ फ्रेश जुड़ रहे हैं यूट्यूब पर, तो स्वागत है विनोद का, अंकुर, गुंजन, सत्या, जय, आप सभी का। आपके सवालों के साथ एक एक करके आप सभी के सवाल लेंगे। कुछ लोग हमारे साथ व्हाट्सएप पर भी जुड़ रहे हैं, अंकिता जुड़ी हैं, स्वागत है आपका अंकिता। लेते हैं जय का सवाल। जय लिखना चाह रहे हैं, दो स्टॉक्स के ऊपर इनका सवाल है, अशोका बिल्डकॉन या ओसवाल एग्रो, इन दोनों में से कौन सा स्टॉक चुने फ्रेश एंट्री के लेवल्स के लिए और फ्रेश एंट्री में निवेश करने के लिए? तो जय, पहले तो अगर आप ये बता देते कि आपका टाइम होराइजन क्या है, तो इससे हमारे गेस्ट को आइडिया लग जाता कि आप शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए ढूंढ रहे हैं निवेश, लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए ढूंढ रहे हैं, मतलब 3 से 6 महीने, 6 से 1 साल, या फिर 1 साल से भी ऊपर का आपका नजरिया है। तो गेस्ट के लिए बेटर हो जाता है आपको राय देना, क्योंकि उस हिसाब से वो आपको स्ट्रैटेजीज बता सकते हैं। करंट लेवल पर एक बार टेक्निकल स्ट्रक्चर समझ लेते हैं दोनों स्टॉक्स का। ओसवाल एग्रो मिल्स 81.7 के लेवल पर है, आज 4.5% ऊपर है ये, और अशोका बुल्डकॉन, ये दोनों स्टॉक्स को देखकर बताइए अक्षय, आप कहाँ पर कॉन्फिडेंट है?
जी, तो दोनों स्टॉक्स का प्राइस स्ट्रक्चर स्टडी करा मैंने, और थोड़े मीडियम टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव से ओसवाल एग्रो मिल्स जो है दोनों में से एक प्रिफर्ड चॉइस रहेगा। उसका रीज़न है कि ओसवाल एग्रो टेक्निकली हमने शायद पिछले महीने एक ब्रेकआउट देखा था 75 के लेवल्स पे। वो लेवल्स स्टॉक ने रिटेस्ट करा रिसेंट करेक्शन में, और गए 2 दिन में अगर आप देखें 75 के स्तर से वापस रिबाउंड करा है। तो एक पॉजिटिव डेवलपमेंट है। मोर ऑफ अ शॉर्ट टू मीडियम टर्म रिकमेंडेशन है, क्योंकि 75 होल्ड करा है तो आप 95 या 100 ये टारगेट बना के चल सकते हैं। तो ओसवाल एग्रो जो है आप दोनों में चुनना है तो ये बेटर प्लेस्ड है टेक्निकली, तो इसे आप चुन के आप 70 के नीचे स्टॉप लॉस बना के बाय कर सकते हैं।
चलिए, उम्मीद करते हैं यहाँ पर भी आपको राय मिल गई है और इस हिसाब से आप आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। जय, नेक्स्ट हमारे पास सवाल आया है विनोद चौधरी का, लिखते हैं, हाय साक्षी, हाय विनोद, कैसे हैं आप? can I accumulate Varun beverages right now for about 2 to 4 years and can I expect about a 15% CAGR kind of a return on this one? I want to know this because I already hold some existing shares also in my portfolio. I have 40 shares at the rate of 450 and I now want to know what is the outlook for the next 2 to 4 years as well. Multiple averaging levels also he can actually look at. He wants to go for Varun beverages.
See, technically, if I were to study the price structure right from, I think 1 year, this correction which has unfolded has ended somewhere around 440, 450. That is my belief. So the entire correction round was pretty intense, and now the stock is staging a pullback rally since the last couple of months. I believe if you're looking for 15% kind of a return, you have a time horizon of over a year, then yes, it is a good stock to be invested in, because even technically, I believe the worst is behind the back, and a recovery process which should unfold may take some time, but with the time of 1 year plus, 640 is roughly the target you can look forward to. If you're keen on the levels where you need to average, then probably you need to kind of divide your buying in three tranches, right from current market price to all the way till 450. So this is the area where you start buying. Three tranches would do justice for buying in this range, and 640 is ultimately which you target for.
Fantastic, Akshay. I hope you know you've taken down all the levels that have been suggested to you. Three tranches, put your money there and look at the upside and where you can actually look at booking your profits. So I hope this is satisfactorily helped you out in terms of the key guidance that's been shared with you by our guest. Let's move on to the next question. Gunjan wants to say that I find this show very useful. Thank you so much, Gunjan, for writing in, and she wants to know about two stocks again. First one is from the hotel space. ITC Hotels is what she wants to know, and the second one is from the cement space. Ambuja Cements is another one that she has kept on her radar. She wants to buy both these stocks at the current levels. Which one is advisable, or are both good for the long term? ITC Hotels currently at 188.9. Remember, right now we are looking at the geopolitical tensions which are keeping the tourism stocks at edge. The other one is, of course, the stock that she has asked on Ambuja Cement. Cement space slowly and gradually has been showing us some momentum signs. So let's find out whether Ambuja also calls for attention.
Uh, both the stocks which you asked for are technically sound, but here again, time is which you need to give. Minimum 1 year plus is should be your investment horizon if you're looking at both the stocks, and if you're looking for some good healthy returns. Now, Ambuja Cement, you cannot expect some fireworks soon, but technically very strong on the trend line, which is around 450. I think short to medium term it will be choppy. Do not expect instant returns in the next couple of months. But the way the setup is, I think longer term will do justice if you hold a script. Now, coming to ITC Hotels, similarly, yes, the pain point is the geopolitical tensions, which will keep this industry on the on the rough patch, and you cannot expect instant returns again here. So you need to buy and hold. Somewhere 170, 75 can be the next leg of downside in case it does, but really you're not concerned about the short term swings, and hold this longer term again should work wonders for you. But again, long term is the key in both the scripts.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question then. We have this question coming in from one of our viewers. He says, I'm a big fan of Ashok Leyland. I want to know what is a fresh entry level that I could look at here. And the second question that he has is on M&M Finance, where he already has a position at the rate of 280, and he wants to know whether he can average this stock at the current levels. Ashok Leyland is currently trading at 224 odd levels, and if we look at the stock and the way it has performed over the last 1 month, 11% uptake. Last 6 months it's been rather flat because of the kind of volatility that we've been seeing. Last 1 year the stock moved up 13 odd percent. So largely consistently it has moved up. In the last 5 years, of course, there has been an improvement from about 43 odd levels that it saw in May of 2020, all the way up to 224 odd levels. So that's the kind of move that you've seen. So in case you would have been looking at the stock from last 5 years, you would have definitely seen it going only in one away fashion up. Your suggestion here, Akshay, Ashok Leyland, and the second one is M&M Finance for averaging.
So Ashok Leyland, technically, it's in a very healthy uptrend, and right now, recently, it has recovered or shown a very strong bounce back from the levels of 200, which was again the trend line support. If you actually look at the stock from the entire auto pack, when the auto pack was in severe pain in last 3 months, this
Yeah.
stock somewhere stood out its ground, has been holding well at the levels of 200, 210. So maybe you see the other auto component stocks rallying recently. This stock has somewhere lost momentum, but clearly this is more of a longer term version kind of a stock where 260 plus will be in the making. So definitely it's a right choice, right stock you have picked up. So hold or buy. 200 is a good strong support zone, and I'm looking forward for potential targets of 260. That's the first stopover target, and longer term can be still more. So a positive view on Ashok Leyland. And as when it comes to Mahindra and Mahindra Finance, so this stock will be in a sideways zone. The sideways trading action is 240. That's the lower end of the support, and 340, which is the upper end of the support. This is more of a 2 to 3 month view. And in case the lower end of the support breaks, the temporary weakness can be anticipated. So this is a stock which is not from a longer term perspective. It's more of a nature where the price setup demands a trading kind of a setup. 240, buy near the support, sell at 320.25. That's the recommendation. Keep strict stop losses at 220. That is the stop loss you need to strictly exercise on this trade in M&M Finance.
Okay, got that. Well, there is another query that we are getting on our WhatsApp. This is Arun from Jalandhar. He says, "Hi Sakshi, how are you? I'm very well, Arun. Good to hear from you. Your question is on the overall markets during the time of war and geopolitical concerns." Akshay, I'd like you to answer this one. And then he also has a specific question on NBCC. At the rate of 97, he holds that stock and wants to know what is the future of that one. So first of all, investing in the times of geopolitical tensions, what should retail investors really keep in mind when they're investing in these kind of times where uncertainty is on the edge every day? We do not know what will happen. Even yesterday, there was so much of anticipation as to whether there could be any retaliation from Pakistan. Overnight, so much of nervousness. People were waking up, checking on the news if there's anything. And now again, as things stayed put, there is some calm on the D Street, but we do not know again as to what will happen. Now, what would you advise retail investors do in such times?
Yes, these are trying. These situations are pretty. They keep you at the edge of your seat, and really, as an investor or as a trader, you really don't know which way to go for, because there is no time deadline as to how far this may extend. But one positive thing which you can look from the domestic front is whenever there has been a war-like situation, uh, maybe the immediate reaction is a pain point, but after that, the kind of rewards the markets have given is multifold. So look at the bigger picture. That is point one. And secondly, if you were to look at India VIX, I think I would be keenly tracking how the volatility index trades. Volatility index is basically the fear index and the nervousness index. Right now it is at 18.7, and what we look at is whenever this VIX index would cool below the levels of 16, it means stability is getting back in the system. So maybe you can keep a benchmark of VIX or VIX at below 16. Whenever it does so, you can anticipate that the fear is behind our back, and you can start picking or keeping your scanners on your stocks where you need to buy. Till now still VIX is on the boil, and it's a hard call, but I think better let VIX settle below 16. That is the best time to start picking your top picks.
Okay, fair point. So that's the view that's coming in. I hope this has answered your question. Ratna Prabha writes in next, and she wants to know from you on Indian hotels, and she wants to know, can this be added to the portfolio at the current levels? IHCL has been one of the top favorite stocks of analysts for a long time when the tourism and travel space was in focus. Even for the long term, A lot of analysts do track this and keep this as part of the portfolio stock. How would you look at technicals currently? Is the risk reward promising? Can one enter at the current levels?
Technically, it is very strong. Just that the last 5 6 months have seen a kind of a symmetrical triangle formation on the technical charts, which is more of a price sideways time correction. So really, nothing has changed. It is just the stock getting into a sideways zone and not giving you the returns. But really, till the levels of 700 are held, there is no reason to be afraid of. I believe it might take a couple of more months to be in this range, but eventually, the way this is setting up, you can expect a breakout and a momentum pace picking up once this range clears out, and easily targets of 1000 should be in the making. So, considering the broader positive structure, still recommend it as a hold. Stop losses, if you want to maintain, that should be around 680, but still the technical structure is positive for Indian hotels.
Okay, got that. So that's the view that's coming in. I hope this has answered your question well. Next, we have a question from our viewer Momita from Kolkata. She wants to know, hi Sakshi, hi Momita, how are you? On Bharti Airtel, her question is, she already has this stock in her portfolio at 1650 and she wants to know what's the short term target for this. What would you advise on this one? Akshay, we have been seeing Bharti Airtel continue to soar to fresh highs of late, and there's been a lot of momentum. Today, there are some news reports that are suggesting that the decks are getting cleared for Elon Musk's Starlink to come back. Remember, there was a lot of buzz again when Starlink was talking about partnership with both Reliance Jio as well as Bharti Airtel to set up infra here in the country. So, do you think telecom space and Bharti Airtel could be back in focus? And even now at the all-time high levels, does it make sense to invest?
Uh, well, see, technically it is still strong, and just the problem is it is a bit overbought for comfort.
Yeah.
So, would you be buying at such elevated levels? That's a question mark. Well, for fresh buy commitments, yes, I would wait for a slight dip of around 1825. We are at 1880, so that would make it more lucrative buy from a risk reward perspective. This is more from short term timing where you exactly need a good entry point. So 1825, 1830 is the zone where you can consider an entry, assuming you get that dip. If not, you're holding it still. The broader trend of Bharti Airtel is positive, and I'm working with targets till around 1950, going by the current technical setup.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question, Momita, on Bharti Airtel, and you would follow the guidance that's been shared with you. Just about 3 minutes to go. One more question we'll quickly squeeze in for you, Akshay, and then we'll ask you your top choices. This question is from Arihant Pavpant. Says, hi Sakshi, hi Arihant, hope you're doing well. The question is on L&T Finance. He already has a position at the rate of 158. The second one is JK Tires that he holds at the rate of 320. And he wants to know if he can add more to the current levels, the current position that he has from the current levels that there are, and any targets that you could suggest for both L&T Finance and JK Tire. JK Tire is currently trading at 335, so definitely he's in some profits. He bought it at 320, and L&T Finance he bought at 158.
So, studying both the charts, I think the better price structure is of JK Tires and Industries. Now, auto ancillaries, they have been noting a lot of buying traction since the last few trading sessions. And here, I believe the broader setup of JK Tires has seen a pullback rally from 250, and I believe this is more rally which can extend since an entire round of correction which unfolded from 550 has somewhere I think ended around 250. So I am pretty much positive that JK Tires with a time horizon of 6 months plus should be heading for targets of 380 plus. So that's the target you can work with. In case you need an averaging level, 320 is the price to average, and the key support for JK Tire is around 290. So I think JK Tire is a better bet. The other stock is in a range bound structure, not weak but neutral, so would not suggest averaging there.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question. Last question to you then, Akshay. Tell us any specific stocks that you have bought in the recent recovery in the markets, and anything that you continue to believe can show us momentum and good returns.
Momentum based buying, you can look at Reliance Industries. Reliance Industries has actually seen a strong technical breakout after, I think, 5 months of range bound trading. 1350 is the technical breakout which we noted, and from there the prices itself have a lot to say. Normally Reliance doesn't move. This time from 1200 to 1400 is where we are, and 1500 1525 is the target I'm looking forward to. So this heavyweight should support the Nifty going forward. Reliance Industries is more of a momentum buy with a time horizon of a month. That's the first trade. And I think Bajaj Finance is the second stock you can look forward to. Results are done. There's a stock split and a bonus announcement. X date is not known, but that should support the stock on any minor dips you get. So 8600, 8700 is a strong support zone, and I'm looking forward for targets of 9400. So these are both short to medium term picks with a trading horizon, with a short term trading recommendation. So it's not a long term call. So follow the levels, and these are good picks from a momentum perspective.
Okay, got that. Well, thank you so much, Akshay, for being with us on the show, sharing with us your top stock ideas there that we will chunk out and have our viewers definitely look at it again. And of course, we hope that you stay safe and stay well till the time we see you next on another edition of Daily Calls. All right, viewers, we'll get into the second segment now. Time to welcome another top guest on the show. Ruchi Jain joins in, Vice President and Head of Equity Technical Research, Wealth Management at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Ruchit, welcome. Good to have you with us on the program. 24,400 is with us on the markets and on the Nifty. Resilience continues, but we don't know how geopolitical space will develop from here on, and therefore markets and investors both seem to be on the edge. How are you dealing with such uncertainty and trading in the markets?
Yeah, hi, very good afternoon, Sakshi. So, Sakshi, if you look at last few days, we have seen more of a consolidation in the market, which seems to be a time-wise corrective phase. But
Yeah.
overall, we have not seen, broken any kind of important supports, immediate supports, which are placed around 24,000 mark. Now, 24,550 is also a significant resistance because this is the 61.8% retracement level of the entire correction that we witnessed from all-time highs to the recent swing lows. So I think yes, as you rightly said, market participants and seems to be waiting for more clarity on whether these geopolitical tensions would escalate or it would subside over here. So I think once that clarity comes, maybe in next few days, then we would see a directional move. Otherwise, for now, we expect some time-wise correction to continue in the market in the near term. So not expecting any big move on the either side. One needs to be take more of a stock specific approach while looking from a trading perspective. But on the index front, I think 24,000 to 24,550, this is the range where sideways move should continue.
Okay, got that. Hopefully, viewers are getting all the viewpoints from here and getting to know the sense in the markets that prevails from top market experts like you. We have a lot of questions coming in, so we'll straight away dive into those questions coming in for you. We have our viewers joining in on our YouTube and both on our WhatsApp as well, sending their questions. We have our next question. This one is from Prudvi Pokuri, and Prudvi says, please could you share the future of DAM Capital with me? I do own 225 shares of this company at a price of 216. So what's the outlook on DAM Capital?
Very limited data because I think this is one of the recent listing.
Yes.
So nothing much to say technically, but overall post listing we have not seen any kind of fresh buying interest happening in the stock. And we know that this is no more when the IPOs when there's a cycle in the capital market where there is a flurry of IPOs. I think that is the cycle where this capital where the stock can do well. So for now, given the market conditions, I think the stock should see some consolidation in the going ahead, but not looking as of now, not looking to see any great fast up move in the short term at least. So some consolidation could continue, but since it's a new listings, I would also suggest to take some fundamental view as well on this stock.
Okay, I hope we will be able to get you another time a fundamental view when our fundamental guests join in. So we do log in again, and next time we'll get you a fundamental view on this one. Right now, technical data is limited, and as per the limited data, Ruchit has guided you the same. Swati from Jalandhar writes in, she wants to know about SJVN. She has a position here at the rate of 110 from the renewable energy space, and the other one is DEN Network at 32.5. Wants to know whether she could hold on to her position on both the stocks or should she exit any.
So I think SJVN, we have seen a good price-wise correction in last few months. So, but
Yeah.
it seems that the stock has formed a very good support base around 80 levels. So the downside seems to be limited from here on. So if we if can hold for a bit midterm, then I think these are not levels where one should look to exit from long positions, but rather hold for some pullback move, maybe towards 105 kind of level. So take a review again when the stock shows any kind of bounce back towards 102, 105 kind of range. And then networks, I think overall, this has not been one stock where we have seen any kind of significant uptrend over last few months, and overall the structure still remains weak over here. So sell on rise strategy should be kept in this stock as well. Any in between pullback moves if we get, then I think one should look to lighten up positions from this one.
Okay, got that. Hopefully, this has answered your question. Let's take the next one. This one is from Gunjan. She says, "Hi, I'm a very big fan of Ruchit sir. I want him to please guide me on NIIT Limited. My position is at 178 levels. So, can I continue to hold? Ruchit, your fan, what would you advise for NIIT Limited?"
Thank you very much, Gunjan. Well, NIT Limited also, this is one of the high beta stock where when the markets are doing well, especially the mid cap and the small cap stocks, we do see very sharp up moves. But no, opposite is also the same when the market does not do well. Now, what has happened in the recent correction when the stock has corrected from 230 to 100, if you look at the weekly charts, then the stock has recently formed a good support base around its 200 weeks exponential moving average, which is usually considered as a good support level if you look at a bit mid to long term perspective. So around the recent swing lows of 110, I think the weekly 200 EM is there. Stock have stabilized over there. So downside seems to be protected from here on. That there would not be any significant downside from here. But at the same time, as I said, this is one of the stock which usually shows a trended move when the mid caps and the small caps shows a significant uptrend. And right now that is not the phase in the mid cap and the small cap space. So if you can keep a patience of maybe a year or more, then it's good to hold on, but do not expect any significant moves, at least in the short term, from current levels.
Okay, got that. That's the view that's coming in. Let's take another question. In the meanwhile, we have Vijay writing in. He says, "Hi, ma'am. I need your views on Yes Bank. Since there's a lot of buzz that's happening with SMBC, I want to know what should one really look at over here. For sure, if you look at Yes Bank, people have always really looked at this stock because it's lower ticket. There has been a troublesome past that we know of, and from that time the stock has only had a lot of troubles even on the stock market and the prices as well. Even though in the last quarterly earnings we've seen some improvement coming on the fundamental side too, and of late we've been hearing a lot of news reports, bank denying the reports as well. But there are some buzz about how Japan's SMBC, or Sumitomo, could be in talks to buy a significant take there. But let's find out whether. And I think yesterday there was a clarification from Yes Bank as well, that the discussions are very, very preliminary at this point in time. So nothing very clearly can be said at this point as to what could be the future. What would you advise those who are looking at a potential opportunity here, Ruchit?
So technically, the trend is not changed positive yet, in spite of the move that we have seen post these news flows. Simple thing is that the 200-day exponential moving average is still around 19.5, 20, which has not yet been surpassed. So until we see at least a closing about 20 rupees, I believe that the trend is not positive yet. And yes, a lot of queries are there for this stock because it's a low price stock. But just one piece of advice would be there, that just because the price of the stock is low in double digit or below 20 rupees, that should not be a reason to buy the stock for your portfolio. So apart from that, if you have any good trended phase coming in the stock, maybe one can wait for a breakout about 20 rupees. Once the stock get a breakout about 20, then one can take a review on this.
Okay, got that. I hope, Vijay, you got the answer to your question there. Let's take some more updates. We have this question coming in from one of our viewers on WhatsApp. Anjali from Mumbai writes in, and she wants to know about Zomato. She has 1,000 shares of Zomato at the rate of 238. She has a long-term view, so what our outlook should be. Zomato again has been very range-bound of late. Every time it's has seen slipping below or closer to 202, 204 odd levels, it's seen a bounce back, but then it again gets stuck below 240 odd levels or 245 odd levels. It's been trading in this range for a fairly long time. 229 right now, there's a 3%, 3.5% cut right now on the stock. What would you advise?
So more of a short-term consolidation is seen in the stock since the month of February. The stock has traded within this range of 250 to 190, 200 on the lower side. But this more seems to be a time-wise corrective phase, and the broader trend, if it's more from a mid to long-term perspective, then I think these are not the levels where one should look to exit, but rather continue to hold on the positions. But no, do not expect any good trended phase in the short term at least. We can expect some more consolidation or a sideways move before the stock resume its broader uptrend.
Got that. Okay, fair point. That's the view that's coming in for you. I hope this has answered your question well. Next, we have this view question from Ashwini D. Rao. Ashwini wants to know about IT space. Ruchit, from you. TCS is on his radar, and he says that I already have a position at the rate of 3614 of TCS in his portfolio, although he's sitting on a loss right now. 3451 is the current level. So he wants to know whether it's time to average the stocks at this point in time. Will that be a better strategy? Again, remember viewers, last few months have been extremely volatile for the IT pack. There has been a space of peak pessimism on IT on the back of what was happening in the policy changes in the US, slowdown concerns, recession concerns, and then came in the earnings, and after that earnings was not as bad. Things were not really turning worse as far as the outlook is concerned, and therefore you did see some recovery as well. How would you look at TCS at this point?
So IT, the space as a whole, has seen a significant underperformance in last few months, and that was mainly because of rising uncertainty on US tariffs. But since that uncertainty is reducing now, so I think we have seen things getting stabilized in price-wise moves as well. So I think price-wise corrective phase seems to be behind for many of the IT names from here on. Uh, there are no signs of any relative outperformance coming in the market from the IT names, but no, I think some specific stocks can start doing well from here on. Stocks such as if you look on the charts, then Coforge is looking well. HCL Tech is looking good from current levels, but certainly not from a short-term perspective. So even TCS, I think on the monthly chart, the stock has formed a hammer pattern, which is good. So the downside could be limited from here on. So you can average out your positions at current levels, but have some patience and hold on until the next IT cycle turns positive.
Okay, got that. I hope this has also helped you out in taking the right decision for your stock portfolio there. Let's take another question. This one is from one of our viewers, that's Ankur Modi. He has a question on IGIL. Okay, let's try and look at this one. Although, again, this will be of limited data for you at this point in time, and you wouldn't have too much of long price charts on this one, because 358 is the current level, 5% higher for International Gemological Institute, and we are seeing about a 5% move. Last 1 month has been good, 4% higher. Last 6 months we've seen a drop, 23-24% off, but last 5 days, again today is the day when the momentum has actually built on International Gemological Institute. Any suggestion here, Ruchit, or will it be difficult for you to answer this one because of lack of data?
Yeah, so don't have any view on the stock because of limited data, but I just can help out with immediate support levels for the
Sure.
stock. We have seen that recently the stock has seen a good support base, either first getting around 320 and below that around 280 to 290 range. So these are two levels where good support is there for the stock. But no, it's better to take some fundamental view on this one since the data is limited.
Okay, got that. Taking the next question, this one is Itisha Singh. Idisha wants to know about Reliance Industries update. Okay, for sure. Last couple of weeks, we've seen good momentum on Reliance Industries. No, even around the earnings, things have started to improve. People were talking about whether this could be a re-rating candidate for FY26. Also keeping an eye out on future triggers of maybe a Geo IPO that would provide a fillip on the stock, because the last 1.5 years has been lackluster on the stock. Even recently we saw the stock slipping to almost 1100 levels, then climbed back above 1400 odd levels. So what's the update now on Reliance, Ruchit, as per you?
So 1300 was the immediate resistance for the stock when it showed pullback from that 1100 of low, and the
Yeah.
stock managed to surpass that 1300 resistance with very good volumes, in this post numbers. So, this clearly indicates the stock, could head higher in the short to medium term, and on the high side, at least 1520, 1540, which was the previous swing highs, could be seen. So, seems positive. Should continue its uptrend towards 1520, 1530.
Okay, fair point. Keeping an eye out on Reliance as well. Right now it's up by 1%. Days high 1420 can be seen on this one. Hope this has helped you out, Itisha, on taking your decisions there. Let's take another one. This one is Moria writing in. He wants an outlook on Tata Power from you. Power space, any momentum here? It's been rather missing this time around during the summer seasons, while last time around the same time, power space were in a full throttle.
Yeah, so I think no, clearly, the momentum is not there in the power in many of the power stocks for now. So even Tata Power, we have seen the stock showing some consolidation in the
Yeah.
range of 320 to 400, 410. Whenever
Yeah.
the stock is coming around 400, 410 range, we are witnessing selling pressure over there. So clearly, does not seem to be a trended phase for the power stocks for now. So we could see a continuation of some sideways momentum in these names.
Okay, got that. So hopefully some sideways momentum could be continued to be seen. Vivek Sharma wants to know about JSW Infra. He has a position here at the rate of 280. Wants a short-term view on JSW Infra. What's a short-term target that you could suggest?
So short term can expect a bounce back from current levels towards 310 to
Okay.
315 range. In last 10-15 days, we have seen some consolidation with support base, coming in around 275, 280. So one can hold the positions if one has on the long side with a stop loss below 275.
Okay, got that. We'll keep an eye out on that. Let's take another question. We have this question coming in from one of our viewers, Monica from Meerut. Writes in to share that she has 1200 shares in her portfolio of Punjab National Bank at the rate of 97, and also wants to know the overall outlook on the banking sector and on PNB. What should she be doing at this point in time? The bank also reported its numbers, remember, yesterday. 145% of payout on dividend declared in Q4, and we also did see that the stock did show us some kind of a bounce today again after the earnings. And therefore, in fact, the profit also surged by about sharply in trade this time around, almost 51% year on year to 4,567 crores. But I think it's also now slipped from the high point. PNB for you, what's the outlook here?
So the outlook doesn't seem to be positive because we have seen that recently when the banking space had rallied, the participation or the leadership was more from the private sector banks rather than the PSU banks. And also what we witnessed day before yesterday after the results of Bank of Baroda, whenever there is a selling pressure, these PSU banking stocks witnessed volume-based selling over there. So I
Yeah.
think for time being, these PSU banks should continue to underperform, and rather, the private heavyweights such as ICICI Bank is there, which
Okay.
are showing more strength. So I think the relative outperformance should continue within the private sector banking space for now compared to PSU banks.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also answered your query on that front. Next, we have this question from one of our viewers who wants to know on NTPC Green and wants to know whether this can be a portfolio stock as well from the green energy or renewable energy space. What would you advise here?
So technically, it doesn't seem that the stock has any positive trend for now. Maybe I think we would see a continuation of the consolidation phase, going ahead. So I believe that there may be some better opportunities, for your portfolio. So it doesn't seem that stock would go down much, but the upside seems also seems to be kept for now till the stock is below that 112, 115 mark.
Got that. Okay, hopefully this has answered your question. Next, we have a query on Himmat Singha Seede. Rupesh Agarwal has written in. He says he already has this stock in his portfolio, Himmat Singha Seede, at the rate of 183 and wants a short-term view on this one. Any suggestion here?
Can see some up move. Today, the stock has seen an up move supported by good volumes. Even in yesterday's trading session, the volume-based buying is there. So initial target can be expected around 171, followed by the previous swing high, which was around 184, 185. So as of now, structure is positive. Any long positions should get.
Okay, got that. All right, we'll stop taking the questions now, but we'll go across to Ruchit to find out his top choices now. Ruchit, could you also share with us any of your top choice that you have identified of late?
So I think defense is a theme where we are quite positive
Yes.
on. It's the
Okay.
April month we've seen the stocks there. Most of the defense stocks witness very strong price volume action. So I think this theme could continue to see a good relative outperformance going ahead as well. HL we have recommended to our clients. So this is one stock which is still looking positive from current levels. Any kind of dips in stocks such as BL or BDL could also be seen as a buying opportunity. So buy and dip strategy would be recommended for these defense name where any kind of decline should be used as opportunity to create long positions.
Okay, got that. I hope this has also helped all our viewers really note down the top choices from our guests when it comes to the stock ideas as well. Ruchit, always a pleasure to speak to you, seek all those insights on the markets and, of course, top stock ideas. And thank you so much for addressing all the queries of our viewers as well. Hope you have a fantastic time. Till the time we see you next, and stay safe. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, viewers, we'll now wrap it up on daily calls for today. 24,398 remains. There's a mild 15 point of a weakness, but there are so many stocks that are actually doing very well. If you look at the broader markets, Zaggle Prepaid is up 8%, Apar Industries is up 8%, Newland Laboratories is up 8% now. From morning till now, there are so many of fresh, strong movers in the broader markets. SMS Life Sciences, KPR Mill we had marked out in the morning for all of you. Zodiac Clothing is another one. So the textile space continues to run smart. Keep an eye there. Nahar Spinning, another one from the same basket that's also moving up. Then let's also look at some of the other names. KRN Heat Exchanger, one of the recently listed ones, 11% higher. Bharat Steels, Niva Bupa, that's also on the move. So many such stocks that are actually clearly buzzing in trade with strong volumes that can be seen. So while the markets or the benchmark level may be absolutely flat, so much of action below the surface is what you can spot. Leaving you at that, but do stay tuned on to Business Today Television. Action continues on the other side and the market coverage as well. I'll be back for the closing edition at 3 p.m.